Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Sip, Read, Repeat. Now, I know last time I left you guys with a bit of a shorter episode, so I will try to make up for that today. Of course, I got my cup here, just water today. And with that said as well, to the man P Wizzle who left a comment under the last video, I heard you. I'm just doing some research to understand how my current setup can benefit from that. But please know I took your comment very seriously and I am looking into it. So thank you for that feedback. But let's get into today's read. Of course, picking up where we left off on Children of Blood and Bone. And last we left off, Zelly was in the capital basically selling her fish to get some coin to help out with her diviner tax and just to help out with Baba and Zane. And someone grabbed her arm. So let's go right here. We're starting off with chapter 5. Zelly. For a moment, I can't breathe. The copper-skinned girl shakes with a fear so visceral it leaks into my skin. Shouts grow louder as the guards thunder by, getting closer with each passing second. They can't catch me with this girl. If they do, I'll die. Let me go, I order, almost as desperate as she is. No! No, please. Tears well in her amber eyes, and her grasp tightens. Please help me. I have done something unforgivable. If they catch me. Her eyes fill with a terror that is all too familiar. Because when they catch her, it's not a matter of whether she'll die. It's only a question of when. On the spot? Starving in the jails? Or will the guards take turns passing her around? Destroy her from within until she suffocates from grief? You must protect those who can't defend themselves. Mama Agba's words from this morning seep into my head. I picture her stern gaze. That is the way of the staff. I can't. I breathe, but even as the words leave my mouth, I brace myself for the fight. Damn it. It doesn't matter if I can help. I won't be able to live with myself if I don't. Come on. I grab the girl's arm and barge into a clothing stall larger than the rest. Before the cloth merchant can scream, I put my hand over her mouth and press Zane's dagger to her neck. What are you doing? The girl asks. I inspect her cloak. How does she even make it this far? The girl's copper skin and thick robe scream of noble blood, rich with velvet and golden hues. Put on that brown cloak, I order her, before turning back to the merchant. Beads of sweat drip down her skin. With a diviner thief, one wrong move could be her last. I'm not going to hurt you, I promise. I just need to make a trade. I peek out the front of the stall as the girl changes into the muted cloak, tightening my grasp when the merchant lets out a muffled yelp. The market's crawling with enough guards to fill an army. The scrambling traders and villagers add to the chaos. I search for a way out of this madness, but no escape route emerges. We have no choice. We'll just have to test our fortune. I duck back into the stall as the girl pulls the hood of her new cloak low over her forehead. I grab the fine robe she was wearing and shove it into the merchant's hands. The fear in the trader's eyes dims as the soft velvet passes through her fingers. I lower the dagger from her neck and grab a cloak of my own, hiding my white hair under its dark hood. Are you ready? I ask. The girl manages a nod. A hint of determination flashes in her eyes, but I still detect a paralyzing terror. Follow me. We exit the stall and step into the pandemonium. Though guards stop right in front of us, our brown cloaks act as a shield. They're searching for noble blood. Thank the gods. Maybe we actually have a chance. This is crazy. I'm picturing it in my head. I don't know if you guys are. Walk quickly, I hiss under my breath as we move through the spaces between the textile stalls. But don't. I grab her by the cloak before she goes too far. Don't run. You'll draw attention. Blend into the crowd. The girl nods and tries to speak, but no words come out. It's all she can do to tail me like a lion-near cub, never more than 2 steps behind. We push through the crowd until we reach the market's edge. Though guards cover the main entrance, there's an opening on the side, manned by only one guard. When he steps forward to interrogate a noble, I spot our chance. Quick! I squeeze behind a stock trader's stall to slip from the crowded market down the stone streets of the merchant quarter. I breathe a sigh of relief as the girl's petite frame breaks free. But when we turn, 2 hulking guards block our path. Oh gods, my feet skid to a stop. The silver coins jingle in my pack. I glance at the girl. Her brown skin has lost most of its color. Is there a problem? I ask the guards as innocently as I can. One crosses his tree-like arms. Fugitive is on the loose. No one leaves until she's caught. Our mistake. I apologize with a respectful bow. We'll wait inside. Damn it. I turn and walk toward the stalls, scanning the frantic market. If all the exits are covered, we need a new plan. We need a new way to get... Wait. Though I'm almost back in the market, the girl isn't by my side. I turn to find her frozen before the guards, the slightest tremble visible in her awkwardly placed hands. For God's sakes! I open my mouth to hiss her name, but I don't even know it. I've risked everything for a stranger, and now she's going to get us killed. I try to distract the guards, but one is already reaching for the girl's hood. There's no time. I grab my metal rod and flick. Duck! The girl drops to the ground. I whip my staff and smack it against the guard's skull. A sickening crack rings through the air as he collapses into the dirt. Before the other can unsheath his sword, I thrust my staff into his sternum. Ugh! With a swift kick to the jaw, he falls back, lying unconscious in the red dirt. Skies! The girl curses like a noble. I retract my staff. Skies is right. Now I've attacked the guards. Now we're really gonna die. Zane's imminent fury flashes in my mind as we take off, sprinting as fast as we can through the merchant quarter. Don't screw this up. Get in, get out. Where in the plan did it make sense to help a fugitive? As we tear through the streets lined with pastel-colored buildings, two troops of royal guards fight to take us down. Their shouts grow loud. Their footsteps pound even louder. With swords drawn, they close in only a few paces behind. Do you know where we are? I ask. A little, she pants, eyes wide with panic. Enough to get us to the slums, but head there. She pushes forward, sprinting a step ahead of me to take the lead. I follow her as we run through the stone streets, blowing by confused merchants in our dash. Adrenaline rushes through my veins. Heat buzzes beneath my skin. We're not going to make it. There's no way we'll escape. Relax. I hear Mama Agba in my head. I force myself to take a deep breath. Be resourceful. Use the surroundings to your advantage. I scan the compact streets of the merchant quarter in desperation. As we round the corner, I spy a towering stack of wooden barrels. That'll do. I expand my staff and take a giant swing at the tower's base. When the first barrel comes crashing to the ground, I know the rest are soon to follow. The guard screams fill the air as the barrels take them down. The diversion gives us enough time to sprint into the slums and stop to catch our breaths. What now? The girl gasps. You don't know the way out? She shakes her head, sweat dripping down her face. I've never been to this part of town. The slums look like a labyrinth from afar, but from within, the shacks and shanties cluster like a web. The narrow paths and dirt streets tangle before our eyes. There's no exit in sight. This way. I point to the street opposite the merchant quarter. If that way leads toward the city center, this has to lead out. We kick up clouds of dirt running as fast as we can, but a troop of guards cuts us off. We have no choice but to dash the other way. Skies, the girl gasps as we race through the alley, riling up a group of homeless Poseidon. For a moment, I'm amazed she's made it this far. I doubt evading her soldiers was part of her noble education. We round another corner, just paces ahead of the guards. I push myself to run faster when the girl yanks me back. What are you? She presses her hand to my mouth. She pushes me against the shanty's wall. It's only then that I notice the narrow space we've squeezed between. Please work. For the second time in over a decade, I lift up a prayer, calling to any god who might still be there. Please, I beg. Please, please hide us. My heart threatens to break free of my ribcage, pounding so hard. I'm convinced the sound will give us away. But when the troop nears, they rumble by like rhinomes chasing prey. I look up to the sky, blinking as the clouds pass overhead. Bright rays of light shine in between their gaps. It's almost like the gods have risen from the dead, resurrected from the graveyard formed after the carnage of the raid. Whatever's up there is blessing me. I just hope that blessing doesn't run out. We shimmy out of the crawl space and tear down another path, accidentally slamming into a pair of curious diviners. One drops his bottle of rum, and the sharp scent wafts into my nose, so strong my nostrils burn. With its odor, another lesson from Mama Agba's hut resurfaces. I scoop the bottle off the ground and scan the streets for my missing ingredient. There. It's only a few meters from the girl's head. Grab the torch. What? The torch! I shriek. The one right in front of you. It takes her a second to wrestle the metal torch from its hole, but when she does, we take off running. As we pass the last of the slums, I rip a piece of cloth from my cloak and stuff it into the bottle. What is this for? She asks. Let's hope you don't have to find out. We break free of the slums, and the wooden gate of Lagos' entrance comes into view, the key to our escape. Barred by a royal blockade. My stomach sinks as we skid to a halt before the endless line of armed guards. The soldiers ride, menacing Black Panthers, each giant beast bearing its fangs. Their dark fur shines like a thin layer of oil under the sun, matte rainbows of color embedded throughout their black coats. Even as the Panthers crouch, they still tower over us, primed and ready to pounce. You're surrounded, the captain's amber eyes bored into me. By the decree of King Saran, I order you to halt. Unlike his soldiers, the captain rides a vicious snow leopard, nearly as big as my hut. 8 thick horns protrude from its back, sharp and glistening in black. The monster licks its long, serrated fangs as it snarls, eager to decorate its spotted white coat with our blood. The captain has the same dark copper complexion as the girl, skin free of wrinkles and the scars of battle. When the girl sees him, her hands fly to her hood. Her legs begin to shake. Though the captain is young, the guards follow his lead without question. One by one, each soldier unsheaths his sword, pointing the blades our way. It's over, the girl breathes in dismay. Tears stream down her face as she kneels to the ground. She drops the torch in defeat and pulls out a scroll of wrinkled parchment. I pretend to follow her lead and crouch, touching the cloth in the bottle to the torch's flame. The acrid stench of smoke fills my nose. As the captain closes in, I hurl the weapon at the line of Panthers. Come on, I will the glass bottle, trailing its arc with my eyes. As it flies, I worry nothing will happen. Then the world erupts in flames. The fire burns brilliantly, sweeping men and horned Panthers into its blaze. The beasts howl in hysteria, bucking their riders in an attempt to get away. The girl stares in horror, but I grab her arm and force her to move. We're only a few meters away from the gate now, only a few meters away from freedom. Close the gate, the captain yells as I brush by. The girl crashes into him, but manages to slip by through his grasp when he stumbles. The metal gears groan and churn, and the wooden gate starts falling down. The checkpoint guards brandish their weapons. Our last obstacles to freedom. We won't make it, the girl wheezes. We don't have a choice. I sprint faster than I knew it was possible to run. The drunk guard from before unsheaths his sword, raising his arm to slash. His sluggish movement invites more laughter than fear. I smack his skull with a vengeance, taking an extra second to knee him in the groin when he drops. Another guard manages to get in the swing of his sword, but it's easy to block with my staff. I spin the metal rod in my hands, knocking the sword from its grip. His eyes widen as I deliver a roundhouse kick to the face, slamming him against the wooden gate before I pass. We did it! I want to scream as I run under the cover of the jackalberry trees. I turn to smile at the girl, but she's not there. My heart seizes as I watch her tumble to the ground. A finger's breadth before the gate. Clouds of dirt greet her fall. No! I shriek. The gate's only moments away from shutting. After all that, she's not going to make it. After coming so close, she's going to die. Run, I order myself. Escape. You have Zane, Baba. You've done all you can. But the despair in her eyes pulls me back, and I know my blessings have run out. Because despite every protest in my body, I dash through the gates, rolling through moments before they slam shut. You're done. The captain steps forward, bloody from the firebomb. Drop your weapon. Now. It seems like every guard in Lagos is staring us down. They circle us in droves, blocking each path before we can attempt another escape. I pull the girl to her feet and hold my staff out high. This ends here. They will not take me. I will force them to kill me where I stand. My heart slams against my chest as the guards close in. I take a moment to enjoy my last breaths, picturing my mama's soft eyes, her ebony skin. I'm coming, I think to her spirit. She probably roams Alethea now, floating through the peace of the afterlife. I imagine myself beside her. I'll be with you so. A thunderous roar rings through the air, freezing the guards in their steps. The cry grows louder and louder, deafening in its approach. I barely have enough time to pull the girl out of harm's way when Nyla's monstrous figure leaps over the gate. Guards tumble back in fear as my Lionaire lands on the dirt path, saliva dripping from her massive fangs. I'm convinced she's a hallucination until I hear Zane shouting atop Nyla's back. "The hell you waiting for?" he yells. "Get on!" Without wasting another second, I hop onto Nyla's back and pull the girl aboard. We take off, jumping from shack to shack before the shanties crumble under her weight. When Nyla gets enough height, she makes a final leap, flying toward the gate. We've almost cleared it when a shock like lightning surges through my veins. The shock travels through every pore in my skin, igniting my being, catching my breath. Time seems to freeze as I look down, locking eyes with the young captain. An unknown force burns behind his amber gaze, a prison I can't escape. Something in his spirit seems to claw onto mine. But before I can spend another second locked in his eyes, Nyla flies over the gate, severing our connection. She lands on the ground with a thud and takes off, thundering through the jackberry trees. My gods, I breathe. Every part of my body screams with strain. I can't believe we actually made it. I can't believe I'm still alive. Ooh, they saved that girl's life. Chapter 6, Enon. Now, I need to go back and just see if this was the same. I don't think that was the same name from Chapter 3. I didn't think so. Amari with Chapter 3. Okay, Enon. Chapter 6. So this is someone else we are now meeting. So we've had 3 chapters now with Zelly, or I guess 4. Chapter 1 and 2 were Zelly. Chapter 3 was Amari. And chapters 4 and 5 were Zelly. So now we're on chapter 6, Enon. Failure, disappointment, disgrace. Which insult shall father brand me with today? I run through the possibilities as I enter the gate and ascend the white marble steps of the palace. Failure would be fitting. I'm returning with no fugitive in hand. But father might not waste his words. He could lead with his fists. This time I cannot blame him. Not truly. If I can't defend Lagos from a single thief, how in the world am I supposed to become Orisha's next king? Curse the skies. I paused for a moment, gripping the smooth alabaster railing. Today was to be my victory. Then that silver-eyed wretch got in the way. The diviner's face flashes behind my eyes for the 10th time since I watched her fly over Lagos' gate. The image of her obsidian skin and long white hair stains. Impossible to blink away. Captain! I ignore the salute of the front guards as I enter the main hall. The title feels like a taunt. A proper captain would have sent an arrow through that fugitive's heart. Where's the prince? A shrill voice echoes against the palace walls. Damn it. This is the last thing I need. Mother pushes toward the castle entrance. Gele tilting as she fights through the guards blocking her path. Where is he? She cries. Where is Ina? Mother's face softens with relief. Tears spring into her eyes. She leans in close, pressing a hand against the cut on my cheek. There were reports of assassins. I pull away from Mother and shake my head. Assassins would have had clearer targets. They'd be easier to track. The fugitive was just one runaway, one I couldn't catch. But Mother does not care about the attacker's true identity, about my failure, wasted time. She wrings her hands together, fighting back more tears. Inan, we must. Her voice trails off. It's only then that she realizes everyone is staring. She straightens her gele and steps back. I can almost see the claws extending from her hands. A maggot attacked our city? She snaps at the assembled crowd. Do you not have places to be? Go to the market, flush out the slums. Make sure this never happens again. Soldiers, nobles, and servants clear the hall at once, tripping over one another in their haste. When they're gone, Mother grabs my wrist and yanks me toward the throne room doors. No, I'm not prepared for Father's wrath. I don't have any news, and you never will again. Mother throws open large wooden doors and drags me across the tiled floors. Leave the room, she barks. Like mice, the guards and fanners scatter. The only soul brave enough to defy Mother is Kaya. She looks unusually handsome in the black chest plate of her new uniform. Admiral? I stare at the decorated seal denoting her elevated rank. There's no mistaking it. She's moved up. But what about her belly? The harsh smell of spearmint stings my nose as we near the throne. I scan the tiles and sure enough, two distinct patches of fresh blood stain the cracks. Skies. Father's already in the mood. That includes you, Admiral, Mother hisses, folding her arms across her chest. Kaya's face tightens. It always does when Mother addresses her with such ice. Kaya glances at Father. He gives a reluctant nod. My apologies. Kaya bows to Mother, though there is no apology in her tone. Mother trails Kaya with a scowl until she exits the throne room doors. Look, Mother pulls me forward. Look what the maggots did to your son. This is what happens when you send him to fight. This is what happens when he plays captain of the guard. I had them cornered. I yank my wrist out of Mother's hand. Twice. It's not my fault my men broke position after the explosion. I am not saying it's your fault, my love. Mother tries to grab my cheek, but I slip away from her rose-scented hand. Just that it's too dangerous for a prince. Mother, it's because I am a prince that I must do this, I press. It's my responsibility to keep Orisha safe. I can't protect my people if I hide inside the palace walls. Mother waves me away, shooing my words as she turns back to Father. He's the next king of Orisha, for Sky's sake. Gamble with some peasant's life. Father's expression remains blank, as if he's blocked Mother out. He stares out the window as she speaks, twisting the royal ruby that sits on his finger. Beside him, his magicite blade stands tall in its golden stand, the snow lepanier carved into its pommel, gleaming with Father's reflection. The black sword is like an extension of Father, never more than an arm's length from his side. You said them, Father finally says. Who was the fugitive with? When she left the palace, she was alone. I swallow hard, forcing myself to meet Father's eyes as I step forward. We don't know her identity at the moment. We only know she isn't native to Lagos. But I know she has eyes like the moon. I know the faded scar that nicks her eyebrow. Once again, the diviner's face floods my mind with such clarity that it could be a painting hung on the wall of the palace. Her full lips part in a snarl, her muscles tense against her lean build. Another prick of energy pulses under my skin, sharp and burning, like liquor over an open wound. The searing throbs beneath my scalp. I shudder, forcing the vile sensation away. The royal physician is reviving the checkpoints, I continue. When they come to, I will have her identity and origin. I can still track them down. You will do no such thing, Mother says. You could have died today. And then what? Leave Amari to take the throne? She walks forward, fists clenched, headdress high. You must stop this, Sauron. Stop it this instant. I jerk my head back. She called father by his name. Her voice echoes against the red walls of the throne room, a harsh reminder of her gall. We both look at father. I can't fathom what he'll do. I begin to think mother's actually won for once when he speaks. Leave. Mother's eyes widen. The confidence she wore so proudly drips off her face like sweat. My king, now, he orders, even in his tone. I require a private word with my son. Mother grabs my wrist. We both know how father's private words usually end. But she can't interfere. Not unless she wants to face father's wrath herself. Mother bows, stiff as a sword. She catches my gaze as she turns to leave. New tears streak the powder caked onto her cheeks. For a long while, Mother's departing footsteps are the only sound to fill the vast throne room. Then the door slams shut. Father and I are alone. Do you know the fugitive's identity? I hesitate. A white lie could save me from a brutal beating. But father sniffs out lies like hyenas in the hunt. A lie will only make it worse. No, I answer, but we'll get a lead by sunset. When we do, I'll take my team. Call off your men. I tense. He won't even give me a chance. Father doesn't think I can do it. He's going to take me off the guard. Father, I say slowly, please. I didn't anticipate the fugitive's resources before, but I'm prepared now. Grant me a chance to make this right. Father rises from his throne, slow and deliberate. Though his face is calm, I've seen firsthand the rage that can hide behind his empty gaze. I drop my eyes to the floor as he approaches. I can already hear the coming shouts. Duty before self. Orisha before me. I failed him today. Him and my kingdom. I let a diviner wreak havoc on all of Lagos. Of course he's going to punish me. I lower my head and hold my breath. I wonder how badly this will hurt. If father doesn't ask me to remove my armor, he'll go for my face. More bruises for the world to see. He raises his hand and I shut my eyes. I brace for the blow. But instead of his fist against my cheek, I feel his palm grip my shoulder. I know you can do this, Enon, but it can only be you. I blink in confusion. Father's never looked at me this way before. It's not just any fugitive, he says through his teeth. It's Amari. Now, before I even get to, we knew that, right? Me and you, audience, we knew that was his sister. I'm surprised that the brother is the captain, but we knew that it was his sister, right? Okay, I just want to make sure that we were on the same page. And you know what? Special treat for you guys. Chapter 7, Zeli. We're halfway to Aloran before Zane feels safe enough to pull on Nala's reins. When we come to a stop, he doesn't move. I must have sparked a new level of rage. Also, I kind of dig the dynamic between, you have two sets of siblings, a younger and older brother sibling between Zeli and Zane, and now Enon and Amari. So I wonder, Enon already seems to be, I'm sure he's more mild-mannered and softer than his rank allows him to be, but Zane, we know, is tougher than what he's probably allowed to be. So I'm very interested to see what the, I guess, juxtaposition between the two people will be. As the crickets chirp in the towering trees, I slide off the saddle and hug Nyla's gigantic face, massaging the special spot between her horns and her ears. Thank you, I whisper into her fur. You're getting the biggest treat when we get home. Nyla purrs and nuzzles her snout against my nose, like I'm the cub she's been tasked to protect. It's enough to bring a smile to my face, but when Zane drops to the ground and stalks toward me, I know even Nyla can't protect me from this. Zane, what's wrong with you? He shouts out with such fury that a family of blue-winged bee-eaters flees from the trees up overhead. I didn't have a choice, I rush out. They were going to kill her. What in God's name do you think they're going to do to you? Zane slams his fist into a tree with so much force the bark splits. That nigga's strong. Why don't you ever think, Zell? Why don't you just do what you're supposed to do? I did. I reach into my bag and throw a velvet purse at Zane. Silver pieces spill across the ground. I got 500 for the sailfish. All the money in Orisha won't save us now. Zane palms his eyes, smearing tears on his cheeks. They're going to kill us. They're going to kill you, Zell. Please, the girl squeaks, drawing our attention. She possesses an uncanny ability to shrink. I forgot she was even here. Her face blanches. Under her long hood, I can barely make out her stark amber eyes. This is my fault. All of it. Thank you. I roll my eyes, ignoring Zane's glare. Without her, Zane would be nothing but smiles. Our family would finally be safe. What did you do? I ask. Why were the king's men chasing you? Don't tell us. He shakes his head and jabs his finger toward Lagos. Go back. Turn yourself in. It's the only chance we have to. She removes her cloak, silencing us both. Zane can't look away from her regal face. I can't stop staring at that golden headdress fastened into her braid. It dips onto her forehead, all swooping chains and glittering leaves. In the center, a diamond-crusted seal shines, an adorned snow lepanier, which only one family is allowed to wear. Oh my gods, I breathe. The princess, Amari. I kidnapped Orisha's princess. I can explain, Amari says quickly. Now I hear the royal affect that makes my teeth grind. I know what you must be thinking, but my life is in danger. Your life? I whisper. Your life? Red flashes behind my eyes. The princess cries out when I slam her against a tree. She chokes, eyes wide with fear as I wrap my hands around her neck and squeeze. What are you doing? Zane shouts, showing the princess what it's like when her life's actually in danger. Zane yanks me back by the shoulders. Have you lost your damn mind? She lied to me, I shout back. She told me they were going to kill her. She swore she needed my help. I did not lie, Amari wheezes. Her hand flies to her throat. Fathers executed members of the royal family just for sympathizing with diviners. He would not hesitate to do the same to me. She reaches into her dress and pulls out a scroll, gripping it so tightly her hand shakes. The king needs this. Amari coughs and gazes at the parchment with a weight I can't place. This scroll can change everything. It can bring back magic. We stare at Amari with blank faces. She's lying. Magic can't come back. Magic died 11 years ago. I thought it was impossible too. Amari registers our doubt, but I saw it with my own eyes. A diviner touched the scroll and became a magi. Her voice softens. She summoned light with her hands. A lighter? I step closer, studying the scroll. Zane's disbelief sticks to me like the heat in the air. Yet the more Amari speaks, the more I dare to dream. There was too much terror in her eyes, a genuine fear for her well-being. Why else would half the army chase down the princess if her escape didn't pose some greater risk? Where's the Magi now? I ask. Gone. Tears brim in Amari's eyes. Father killed her. He murdered her just because of what she could do. Amari wraps her arms around herself, squeezing her eyes shut to keep the tears inside. She seems to shrink, drowning in her grief. Zane's exasperation softens, but her tears don't mean a thing to me. She became a Magi. Her voice echoes in my head. She summoned light with her hands. Give me that. I motion for the scroll, eager to inspect it, but the moment it touches my fingers, an unnatural shock travels through my body. I jump back in surprise, dropping the parchment to cling to the bark of a jackberry tree. What's wrong? Zane asks. I shake my head. I don't know what to say. The strange sensation buzzes beneath my skin. foreign yet familiar at the same time. It rumbles in my core, warming me from the inside out. It beats like a second heartbeat, vibrating like Ashi? The thought makes my heart clench, revealing a gaping hole inside me that I didn't even know still existed. When I was young, Ashi was all I ever wanted. Or maybe it's Ashe. I think I'm gonna say it's Ashe. I prayed for the day I would feel its heat in my veins. As a divine power of the gods, the presence of Ashe in our blood is what separates diviners from Magi. It's what we draw on to use our sacred gifts. Ashe is what Magi need to do magic at all. I stare at my hands for the shadows of death Mama could conjure in her sleep. When Ashe wakens, our magic wakens as well. But is that what's happening now? No. I crush the spark inside me before it can blossom into hope. If magic's back, that changes everything. If it's truly returned, I don't even know what to think. With magic come the gods, thrust into the center of my life after 11 years of silence. I barely picked up the shattered pieces of me after the raid. If they abandon me once more, I won't be able to do it again. Can you feel it? Amari's voice drops to a whisper as she takes a step back. Kaya said the scroll transforms diviners into Magi. When Binta touched it, all these lights burst from her hands. I turn up my palm, searching for the lavender glow of Reaper magic. Before the raid, when a diviner transformed, there was no guarantee what kind of Magi that diviner would be. Often, diviners inherited the magic of their parents, almost always deferring to the magic in their mother's bloodline. With the Kosidan father, I was sure I would become a Reaper like Mama. I longed for the day I would feel the magic of the dead in my bones. But right now, all I can feel is an unnerving tingle in my veins. I pick up the parchment with care, wary it'll trigger something again. While I can make out a yellow painting of the sun on the weathered scroll, the rest of the symbols are unreadable. So ancient, they look older than time itself. Don't tell me you believe this. Zane lowers his voice. Magic's gone, Zell. It's never coming back. I know he's trying to protect me. These are words he's had to tell me before, wiping my tears, stifling his own. Words I've always listened to, but this time. Others who touched the scroll, I turn to Amari. Their Magi now? Their gifts return? Yes, she nods, eagerly at first, but with time her enthusiasm fades. Their magic came back, but Father's men got to them. My blood chills as I stare at the scroll. Though Mama's corpse flashes into my mind, it's not her face I picture bloodied and beaten. It's mine. But she didn't have her magic, a small voice reminds me. She didn't have a chance to fight. And like that, I'm 6 years old again, curled behind the fire in our Ibadan home. Zane wraps his arms around me and points me toward the wall, forever trying to shield me from the world's pain. Crimson splatters into the air as the guard beats Baba again and again. Mama screams for them to stop while two soldiers jerk the chain over her neck, so tight the magicite links draw blood from her skin. She chokes as they drag her from the hut like an animal, kicking and thrashing. Except this time, she would have magic. This time, she could win. I close my eyes and let myself imagine what could have been. Ooh. There's a lot of technical terms in here. I'm gonna butcher it and I apologize. Guba Ario Iku. Mama hisses through her teeth, giving new life with my imagination. Pa ipo da je ninu ija ada. The guards strangling her freeze, shaking violently as her incantation takes hold. They scream as she rips their spirits from their bodies, killing them with the wrath of a reaper in full command of her gifts. Mama's magic feeds off her rage. With the dark shadows twisting around her, she looks like Oya, the goddess of life and death herself. With a guttural cry, Mama tears the chain from her necks and wraps the black links around the remaining guard's throat. With magic, she saves Baba's warrior spirit. With magic, she's still alive. If what you say is true, Zane's anger cuts into my imagination. You can't stay. They're killing people for this. If they catch it with Zell, his voice cracks and my heart rips into so many pieces. I don't know if my chest will hold. I could screw everything up for the remainder of his days, yet Zane would still die trying to keep me safe. I need to protect him. It's his turn to be saved. We have to go. I roll the parchment and place it in my pack, moving so quickly I almost forget the silver-filled purse on the ground. Real or not, we have to get back to Baba. Escape while we still can. Zane swallows his frustration and mounts Nyla. I crawl on behind him when the princess speaks shy like a child. What about me? What about you? I ask. My hatred for her family flares. Now that we have the scroll, I long to leave Amari stranded in the forest. Let her starve or become a hyena's prey. If you're taking that stupid scroll, she has to come, Zane sighs. Otherwise, she'll lead the guards straight to us. Amari's face blanches when I turn back to her, as if I'm the one she has to fear. Just get on. I scoot forward on Nyla's saddle. As much as I want to leave her behind, we're not done with each other yet. And with that one, ladies and gentlemen, and all my friends, we are going to end there. So that's very interesting. I did think that she would immediately get her powers back. So she probably needs to do something with this scroll. There's probably a step we're missing because Binta, Amari's friend or servant, seemed to get her powers instantly. So I wonder if maybe Zelly doesn't have the power she thinks she does. I don't know. Either way, I'm excited. I'm very interested to see how Amari and Zelly's relationship blossoms, and I'm interested to learn more about the Crown Prince. A lot of interesting characters we got so far right now, guys. But until next time, thank you for being here. Peace.